That's amazing, though.
You could have also done it with a stick as well. But yeah.
Sticks aren't generally in the house, though. I don't know about you. I don't keep many sort of meter-long sticks in the house for this kind of thing.
We're live, by the way.
Oh, we're live.
So you love how we went just straight in there, and now we're live.
Yeah, the outros. I love just putting those bits. They're never outros because they're always left in.
Always intros, apparently.
Lockdown lunchtime live. I said the LLL. Welcome back for episode 3. So we're 3 weeks into lockdown now, and we're trying to give you our wisdom to keep you going and give you some hints, tips about your business, your books, and your body. So, welcome back, Danny's EPT.
Hello, Ali. I am Danny's EPT.
I love how much it rhymes.
I need something else like that.
You got it. Yeah. You got it. You know, I love my parents for giving me that name now because I can just go with it.
Welcome back, Nikki, the Bookish Mindset.
Thank you. Doesn't quite rhyme, but it's okay.
It doesn't quite rhyme. And I am the Pac-Man. So yeah, well, episode 3. So today we had a bit of a ramble before we started, and it seems like we've all had the dreaded to-do list this week. It's, lots and lots going on, and I think sometimes when you're trying to move forward and you get all these ideas popping into your head and things that you need to do, especially when you're trying to grow new businesses, there's 101 million things. Oh, your booty. Don't look back, Danny. Always throwing me off my game.
Sorry.
Yeah, that to-do list, and I can definitely talk about that this week because it's been a difficult week for me, but with work, and sometimes you can find your to-do list gets bigger because everybody else is vying for your attention, but also it can come from you. We put a million things on there ourselves. So maybe we should talk about how our weeks have been first of all, and then we can jump into that. So
how has your week been?
Yeah,
we're going with you today.
Okay, so I entitled the Facebook live "Eating the Frog," and so on Monday I felt swamped because I had 4 or 5 massive tasks to do for customers, and it seemed like they were going to be there forever, and they had been on my list for a long time. And they suddenly became urgent, important, and big tasks all at the same time, and that brings a lot of anxiety sometimes. Maybe not in the total dread of doing it, but it does bring it brings stress. And I remembered eat that frog. So on Tuesday, I set about with right. These are the only things that matter, Alistair. And what's the biggest one? Because if you've got more than one frog that you need to eat the biggest one first.
And the ugliest one.
That's it. And I eat the ugliest one first. So I set about doing that. And I was quickly reminded that doing that does help. I think sometimes to feel productive, we do lots of little tasks because it makes us feel like we're doing loads. But achieving that big task is definitely the most important, I think, and it is important to remember that.
Yeah.
But also what that meant is it then brings, when you're trying to run a business alongside doing a day job, and you're also trying to do all your stuff, personal life. We've all got these busy lives. But one thing can feel like it's consuming a lot of time. and you often put things on the back burner, and that's okay as long as you're aware of that. But you have to also then accept that, okay, these things are on the back burner, and I'm not going to let that stress me out.
Yeah, you have to find the balance.
But I also think it's important, like, if so, I'd started working with Danny's EPT this week, and she was straight on my case on Monday. Where's your,
Yes, Dan.
where's your steps? Where's your calories? What's going on? And that's why I signed up to work with her, because I knew that
Accountability.
she knew she would give me that accountability. And being a personal accountability coach, I'd hope that I understand how much accountability means.
But also because I have a certain duty of care, like as your trainer, it's not just for your physical benefits, but it's also because I know how you get when you do smash these certain targets and you get your steps in and stuff, and it helps you. It's kind of transferable into your working life, because oh, I'm on a roll. So that's why I kind of push it, because I know the influence it has when you tick these good things off.
It's also with that being, with how this week was, and then that being a new thing of trying to. No, it was not a new thing because I've done it many times before, but it was new after a period of being away from it.
It's getting back into it. Yeah.
That I had to be like, do you know what? Actually, where's the real foundations? Let's build the foundations first. Let's not worry about trying to get 3 workouts and my 10,000 steps and get my calories back in place. Do you know what? And hit my protein and get my water up. What of those can I achieve without it being a massive task? The water,
fundamentals.
the logging of calories, those I can do. And if I miss my workout, I miss my workout. But that did result in Danny reducing my calories.
I said to you, you can have high activity levels and then high calories, or we've got to drop it.
Yeah. So I lost 500
She's
calories
good.
overnight.
She's good.
And, she was like, Ali, I think I'm going to have to drop it. So I think it's just, my reminder this week was, you can try and spin all these plates, but sometimes you need to just say, well, do you know what? I'm only capable of spinning 2 or 3 plates this week, so I'm just going to spin those. Yeah, I'd say that was definitely my
So
learning.
now what have you changed in terms of that? So do you have a to-do list with a few things now, or do you have no to-do list, or you just like screw it? Almost swore there.
No,
Screw it.
Right, so I'm quite
YOLO.
organized. As much as I'm not an organized person, I am an organized person.
No.
So I do have a to-do list. I tell you what,
sorry.
I didn't even hear what you said because I was too busy talking. I'll have to listen to it back, won't I?
Carry on.
So I use my Outlook to-do list, and even if it's a small task, I put it on there and I put a date. I'm going to work on it, and I've been okay with moving that out, and also communicating with people. If I can't get something done within a when I think I can get it done, don't just try and hide away from it. Just be honest and go back to people and say, I'm not going to get that done for you this week. It's going to be next week.
The communication is key, isn't it?
It is. Communication is key. And then also making sure that I look at it every day and I say, right, what's the biggest one? And get that done first. And then, if I want in the afternoon and I just want to do like loads of little basic tasks, at least I've done the big one in the morning first. And that was about learning when am I capable of doing the big one? I know that in the morning I'm more productive and I'm more capable of getting the difficult stuff done. The fact that I can stand in a cold shower every morning and then I come out and I feel like I can win against anything, which I managed to do 4 minutes this morning.
Very nice.
I saw that, thanks to M83.
Yeah, M83, they helped. I think it's about managing it and reflecting, and not. I think if you don't put stuff on your list, that can almost be more stressful because then you're forgetting about it.
I can't compute. I don't know how you don't put not you. I don't know how you can't put things on a list. That the thought of that stresses me out. It's making me twitch a little bit.
Project manager over here.
Oh. Yeah.
So yeah, I was also reminded of this week of an app called Trello, which is a
Okay.
project management software, and it's free. And it's all about having things on boards. So it's a list, it's a job list, but you can put things on a job on a board. So if it's for my work, then I put it on there. If it's for my business, I can put it on there. And it's about projects, and you can move it up a level. You can move it over to like, okay, we're working on that, or that's just an idea.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool.
I like that.
See,
system.
I like that. I like that idea, but I'm more of a I have to have it with me. Like I have to have a whiteboard or I have to have a notebook, and I'm
I'm a
old-fashioned
notebook
pen and paper.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I think apps are amazing and it works for someone and it's very convenient. But in terms of a to-do list, I have to actually have it in front of me. Otherwise, it just gets lost amongst my other apps. Do you know what I mean? But in terms of having everything in terms of different topics and stuff, I know I've got so many too. In terms of
I
having
can
different
verify for the notebook
aspects.
and pen. It's, I've got 3 more there. My journals. Writing is there's definitely something in writing.
Yeah. It's therapeutic, isn't it?
But I find a jobs list that's on paper and pen. If it's not just what you'd like, what I put on my jobs list on my paper and pen is the 2 or 3 big things that I'm going to be tackling that day. They're written in paper and pen, but everything else is just on an electronic list because it would take me 3 times as long to try and write it out. Then
It's a very long list, but
then pressing right click and creating a follow-up task on an Outlook email.
See, with emails, if it can be answered there and then, it's getting an answer, and then it's off, and then it's done. Even if it's, I'll get back to you by the end of the week.
Oh yeah,
It's answered, it's done, then it's on the list for me.
Yeah,
there's different levels of lists. There's multiple lists, and there's lists within lists. And now I sound like I've got a list.
See, now, do you think that writing different lists and stuff is counterproductive? Because we're always making lists instead of
Rather than
ticking
doing
the
it.
actual things off.
yeah, that's where I agree with it. Like you just need to have a list. I think you need a list of everything that you are working on. But if you've got too many, okay, that's a priority 1 list. I think it's just you have to date. I find calendar and actually allocating time to do something. So if it comes in as a job, and I go, okay, that's a 15-minute job. Where am I going to do it?
Yeah,
it's not just about putting on a jobs list. You actually go, okay, I'm going to allocate that 15 minutes on that day to do that, and it's on the calendar. Then nobody else can take it away from you.
Yeah,
I like that. No, I'm definitely this person. For me, it's more getting it out of my head to make sure I've not forgotten anything. Once it's on paper, it's there, and I don't have to think about doing it because it's there. I know it's written down, and I know I'll see it and I'll do it. So different lists, I separate them out in work. I've got 2 notebooks at work, one for project management, one for the CI stuff. Whereas at home, I've got one that's my general house list and mess, and then I've got different ones. It's compartmentalizing it, and it's going, this is just for this. I know exactly what I'm looking at when I'm here. It's just the weird way my brain works, but yeah. There's something about writing it down as well, not spending ages, and it doesn't have to be neat and perfect, but it's writing it down that it's there
just to get it out as well. Yeah,
definitely.
I get that too.
Yeah.
What about for like fitness and stuff? Do you have like a to-do list? Like today I'm going to do yoga. Today I'm going to do this workout. Today I'm going to get this amount of steps in.
I'm not a good example now, but yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean, I like structure. I like rigidity and structure because that's me. You may have guessed by now. When let's say end of last year, when I was sort of really in it and focused, I think there was some that were just non-negotiables, like water happens. I drink enough water anyway, but the steps happened. If I hadn't got my steps by the time I finished work, I know I'd be going for a walk after work. Go before tea, then I'll definitely do it, because if I tell myself I walk after tea, no chance. I'm
Not
like
going
asleep
to
on the
do
sofa. And then it would always be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday to work out before work in the morning, and that was it. It was non-negotiable. That was it. That's your structure. Boom. So for me, I need that. Yeah.
Regimented.
No jobs. No, I don't put it down as a list.
No.
I might try and plan it in, but no list.
No.
You can have a list for everything. You can have shopping lists.
Oh, shopping list. I love a good shopping list. I love it on my phone.
I've never had somebody get so excited about a shopping list.
I know.
Because I've got a new way of doing it. You know, on the iPhones, you can do your checklist and you can have them ticked on and off.
Yeah.
When you make a shopping list with everything, you check it off and then it's done. But then you've got the reminder of everything that you needed last week. And go, I remember I'm out of soy sauce, or I'm out of this, or I'm out of that. And you've got it there, ticked off.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That's cool.
I forgot that it just puts a line through it, doesn't it?
It doesn't even put a line through it, just clicks the box. It just fills in the circle. And what's even sad is I've got it separated by aisle, so I know when I'm going down that aisle, right, that's fruit and veg, I've got it separated out like that. I know, but it's brilliant. It makes it so efficient.
You have to go to the same shop all the time then.
Oh, I do, yeah.
Just switch it up.
I do. Yeah, I know that's a little bit sad, but it makes it so efficient. It means I'm down one, I'll write, done, next one. And it's, yeah.
I guess
because most of the time we have the same food every week, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you add stuff in, obviously, but then it's the reminder. Normally I'm quite good at, if we're out of something, I just then click it off my list as unmark it, and then it's there and it goes back to the top of each section, so I know it's unmarked. But
then at the same time, you know, in these times when you are going to the shops, it saves that like browsing and wasting time, and definitely. Then socially distancing, and you're both looking at the spices and you're like, can I reach over? I can't reach over. Like, we're gonna wait. So you just like quickly, can I quickly grab this? And then because you know what you're getting, and then you're in and out. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
I get that. Except you see, the thing is, I shop at Aldi, so they're already quick. So by the time you get to the till, I've already paid for everything, because those people at Aldi are just like beep, beep, beep.
It stresses me out in there. It really stresses me out.
I know.
Don't get me started on those middle aisles. I love them, but I can't stand them either, because it's just chaos. I don't understand what happens. I don't understand what goes on. I'm showing my true colours here, aren't I?
Anyways,
basically those middle aisles in Aldi is where all the blokes stand. Because they feel like they've been ushered out of the way. They're like, I'll just stand here and wait. I don't really know.
And look at all the cool gadgets.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I think I may have brought us off topic with shopping lists.
This is what it's all about. So that, like, this, I gave my whole update as like about lists, and Nikki, you were talking about. Now you've like, let's just put it in perspective. You've achieved loads in the last week or couple of weeks, and I'm envious of your Instagram, and B, of how regular you're posting, and where like you're getting the content ideas and things like that. So, is that hard work?
Yes, but it's hard work that I enjoy, and I thrive when I've got projects to do and projects to work on and things to do. And what I did Sunday last week, which I have this for the first time and got giddily excited about planning, I took a load of photos of different stacks of books and went, right, I've got at least 3 days worth of content, so I don't have to think. I didn't quite plan it as in I plan to post it. I haven't quite got there yet, but I took photos and I did them.
You've got them now.
Yeah, and then they're there. I still got a couple because I didn't do 2 yesterday. I think part of it's planning and part of it's going, right, I'm going to post every day. I want to post 2 a day, and I do play around with timings a bit. But also, if I only post once a day, I do try not to beat myself up. It's very easy for me to beat myself up if I'm not doing it perfect, or I won't start something if I know I can't do it properly. Brilliant example of this is I did a sort of it's a sketch and chat style workshop with something down here, and the sort of feed was draw how lockdown has been you've been feeling. And I started doing little bits of drawing, and then I can't fucking draw. I'm not doing this. Sorry, I'm swearing. I can't draw. I'm not doing this. And ended up writing lists and lists of people I wanted to hug, lists of feelings, lists of gratitude, lists of fun things. But it went to lists. And yeah, I am a planner. I am a serial planner because, you know, there's a bit of panic, there's a bit of anxiety in that, and there's a bit of needing control. I'm sure there's a lot to unpack there in therapy one day. But yeah, it's the way my mind works. It's my job to plan in my work, and I've just always done it. I do it naturally. It sounds really sad, but I just naturally organize and sit and stuff.
Do you think you feel better when you plan or when you don't plan? So you know, you get that level of anxiety when you've got all that planning to do, don't have anything planned. Are you more anxious, less anxious?
I'm anxious. I'm anxious when I've not planned things. For content wise, it's not as much anxiety. It's more, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to think of something on the spot. And I like to have time to think and mull things over. But yeah, in general, I'm a planner. I don't go into things not planning them. I get very emotional and choose emotionally sometimes, but I don't really go into things without planning. Yeah. Oh, I meant that exciting. I was just thinking the house. I got so excited when I saw this house first, and I was just like, oh my God, I love it. I'm going to buy it and all this. And I had to tell John to come in as the bad guy going, well, we don't need to do this. And we're all this. John has to play the bad guy because I get far too happy and I get far too excited. But yeah, I feel much better having everything planned, and I know, you know, and printed, and having everything, something like going to the airport, having everything printed in my hand there, so I know it. I love the idea of having tickets on your phone, but what, lose my phone runs out of battery for whatever reason, this
you never know.
got the paper ticket, can't,
good old trusty pen and paper.
Yeah, if I sound mad, that's how I'm just sounding like I need to
take a breath, Nikki.
So my
even I wanted to breathe for you. I was like,
you should put breathing on your to-do list, and then you have to do it.
Yeah. So in summary, to shut me up, yes, I feel much calmer and much less stressed and anxious and panicky when things are planned, and just in general when things are planned. If there isn't a plan, I will automatically be making one. So it's
fair enough then.
What about
Nikki,
you?
Tell me about so you can't draw.
No.
This is a bit of debate I have in my own head. Is I would say I'm not a creative person, but in many aspects of my life, I am creative in a different way. Like I'm creative with my thinking, and you know, about how to get stuff done and how to find solutions and things.
Yeah.
I don't draw. I can't play any musical instruments. But I saw a post of yours with an onion ring and some eyes.
Yeah.
And a little video, and I was like, that is so cool.
It was a
I
churros,
think you wrote
actually,
on there, you need to tell us how you did it.
Oh, it was just a picture of a churros that I'd half eaten, and then it looked like a little smile, and it looked really gawky put up against my face, so I did it against the wall. And then I did it on the story. So put the picture on to make a story, then put the GIF in there, saved that, and then did it as a post instead.
It's very innovative.
My JSA account, Running for Donuts, kind of started with I was literally running and eating a lot of donuts in the place I used to work. We used to have donuts 2 or 3 times a week, and I find it quite funny when you eat the first bite and then it looks like Pac-Man and you can draw little eyes on it.
Maybe I need to grab that.
It's part of your brand there.
Yeah.
I'm still in your brand and making up my
brand. But yeah, what was the thing? Creativity. That's something I really put myself down on. I know, and I don't know whether other people do this. So I think it's because, well, I'd love to be creative, and I love to think I can be creative and I can do this. And I think because through education, I've always done the maths and the science stuff. I've almost trained myself to believe I'm not creative. I can't do art. I'm not an artist by any fucking sense, but there is so much other levels of creativity, like your content, exactly like you're saying, like your emails. There's creative writing. There's a reason that's a course, that's a thing, you know. There's so many levels of creativity. Creativity just isn't just if you can draw or not. It's so much more. It's music, exactly. It's enjoying music. It's listening. It's recognizing your melodies, your beats, your bars, and everything like that. So bars as in music, not as in drinking.
Oh.
But yeah.
But I
Yeah.
completely agree. I think the definition creativity is so like it's so broad
Yeah.
that you don't have to think, okay, art, music, talent. It's especially now and especially when you're starting your own business, you find that actually I am quite creative because I've got all these ideas and I want to implement them, and then that's how you land up being creative.
Definitely. And it's like coaching, you're creative, you're creating routines. It's literally in the word there, you're creating. Alistair, when you're having these conversations, coaching conversations, you're finding different ways to get through to your clients. You know, there's so much more to it. Yeah, like it's anything.
Exactly.
There's so much creativity in sport. Like gymnastics, there's so much in
The
there. Not
routines and
the
stuff.
routines, it's the floor, but everything. There is so much creativity that isn't maybe lots, or me at least, wouldn't initially think it's creative, and maybe that's because I put myself in a little box. But
I think
yeah, it's
a
huge
lot
when
of
you think about it.
I think a lot of people put too much pressure on themselves to tick all boxes. I need to be creative. I need to be smart. I need to be
Oh yeah,
punctual. I need to be perfect and stuff. When actually you just take the strengths that you're dealt with and then just go with
yes,
that, you know. And if you're not creative, if you're not good at art, then just find someone who is and then work together.
yeah, absolutely. Play to your strengths and employ anyone else for anything else.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think, yeah, it is. And like we think of creative as those arty, the arts, and not around our thinking or writing. Writing's an art. But I learned, like, I never hated English at school, like, with a passion, and I was reading and writing. Well, now I read, and I'm terrible at reading. And now I write every day. Like, hang on a second, who is this? Who is this boy that turned into this? I want to go
And
back and I want to go back and find Mrs. Fallon and be like, in your face. It's a, it's a
Operation
wherever
Find
Mrs.
Mrs.
Fallon
Fallon.
is. It's a,
Oh dear,
we did not get along.
poor Mrs. Fallon. So Danny, tell us about your week before we wrap up.
My week was alright. No, it was good. It was like I just, in lockdown and stuff, it's the same thing every week now.
Yeah.
But it's just in terms of working on my business and stuff, that's all I've literally been doing and just training. Same thing. And yeah, just trying to keep the spirits up.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Whoa.
Downplaying yourself a hell of a lot.
Right.
No, I'm literally not.
Get her,
I'm just
Alistair. Get her.
Danny went live
Get it.
with her clients
Get
for
it.
the first time this week. Yeah. So
Amazing.
that's not just getting on with my business, That's like massive. That's from
Celebrate
okay,
every
they
tiny
did.
win.
All my
that's not
clients,
tiny.
they started their programs this week, and everyone is in a bit of pain now.
and that meant, right, you having probably a load of stuff on your list. From if I'm just thinking about what you've done for me, you've written my programs, worked out my calories twice.
Checked in on you.
You've done a Zoom PT with me, over there, which was brilliant, and I was incredibly sore, and still am sore from that, as you said.
Sorry.
And you've checked in with me. That is a number of tasks in itself, and you've had to do that for however many clients you've got. Then surely
huge.
that's a big. I know you're saying, oh, just in lockdown, but that's actually massive. You have been working this week.
Do you know what I have, but I also it's what I love to do now, so it doesn't feel like it's stressful for me. So it probably will. There will be a bit more pressure when when I'm back at work and things like that. But in terms of the actual thing, like training you or checking in with my clients or adjusting calories and stuff, it's all something that I enjoy. So I do have them on my to-do list, but I've made them kind of easy to do, if that makes sense. So like when when I check in with one, I check in with everyone. And when I look at one person's activity, I look at everyone's, and then I just take it from there. I'm just trying to figure out the routine, but so far it's so good, and everyone's smashing it. So I'm
That's a
happy.
good point actually. There, grouping of tasks.
Yeah, it's good habit forming, I was going to say.
That is very good
Uh,
habit forming.
Yeah.
yeah,
Danny, you've done amazing this week. That's so exciting.
I think everyone has done amazing this week, and the sun is shining, and I'm happy about that.
Yes. And if you're listening live too, you're amazing as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, come
Absolutely.
and see.
We did. I
Oh,
just
and
sometimes I totally forget we've gone live and that we're recording this, and it will go out there on all these platforms because we're just having a chat. It's like a little
yeah, I
culture
know.
session all in itself, and it's I get so much away from it because I'll come away thinking, right, I've got this to do, that to do. I've got to catch these girls up because they're flying,
They're daft.
and
I have one big win that I did this week. It was
Yeah.
my tricep push down exercise that I made. I'm sorry, I'm so proud of that. I was like, actually, I am creative.
See? Right.
yeah,
I think you need to explain to everyone what that is for
Right.
the
If you get a resistance band, okay, get a
a long
resistance
one.
band. Yes, a long one. Wrap it on a hook. Get an ab roller, and then put the band in between the actual wheel, and then push down. You got tricep push down. Now, if you need to adjust the resistance, wrap it around again, it makes it tighter, okay? If you need to make it looser, unwrap it, but then you have a straight arm lat pull down, and then you can work your lats. You're welcome.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I saw it on your stories earlier in the week. I was gobsmacked. Just
Same. You don't even know me. I looked at it, I was like, oh, amazing.
perfect example of creativity. That's just,
I was so
yeah.
chuffed.
and it's also a perfect example of like not finding an excuse to not do something. Like there's always
No.
a solution. And I did I watched an online webinar last night of part of a 5-day course of um with Tony Robbins, and he was reminded me that I think the figures was he used, and I often think people make up stats, but 5% of people look at solutions and not the problems. The other 95% look at the problems. And it was just how often do we come up against this barrier, but we're always, oh my god, this stuff's in front of me. Well, look at the solution to it, and then work on that and spend your time working on that, and don't get caught up
Yeah.
with the problem.
Accept the problem as it is and then find the solution. Accept you can't change the problem, you have no control over it. That's what it is. Right, let's work our way around it.
And often finding
Stoicism. Here it is.
Over Newton.
What's that?
Tower of Pooh. The Tower of Pooh, sorry. Oh, it's brilliant. It's Winnie the Pooh. It's amazing. I won't steal the show, but it's brilliant.
That looks.
It's so cute.
I wouldn't be
My
able to
copy
say
of-
it though.
My
without
copy of Live
laughing.
Like a Monk arrived this week.
Oh, I'm interested to hear what you think of that.
Live like a monk or think like a monk.
Think Like a Monk, sorry.
Oh, I've got about 10 pages left of that book, but it's very good. The ego one is amazing. The ego chapter, favorite.
I'm looking forward to reading that when I can finally finish my books. I'm so slow at reading. Nick,
Doesn't
what
matter.
was your tips for speeding up reading?
Oh, speeding up reading. If you really want speed read, you have to put your finger under the words and say it out loud. So as you're reading, it feels daft, but that's how you learn to speed read. I'm told. I can't necessarily do it or sort of skim it, but as you're doing it, you speed up, kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't know what that's like for intake or anything, but yeah, I've heard that quite a few times.
I've heard you listen to the Audible version and you speed it up and then you read along.
I like that as well.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea. No, because I was listening to the Audible and reading the book separately, because I use the Audible version when I go out for a walk, and they're never in sync.
Yeah.
So
Do both.
I should be trying to do the book. So now I need to walk with my book in front of me.
Good luck.
And still not bump into someone in front of you.
Yeah, maybe we should just let's do that. Right, well,
That's a good one.
I've got to go because I've got too many books to read.
Yes, I'm gonna get my steps in the sun.
I've got to get some lunch.
And then on that note, everyone,
Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. We'll be back next week.
We will indeed.
Friday then, Saturday, Sunday. Right. Bye.
Ladies.
Thank
Thank
you.
everybody for listening.
Bye.
Bye.